What is up, you guys? It's your boy Marc Proctor, aka Doc Proc, here to discover tips, tricks, and motivation to help get you through the rest of your working week. And on today's episode, I'm going to share with you 2 1-minute nuggets from the VP of Marketing, Kristie Holden. Kristie Holden has been working with the market circle for over the last 7 years. She's very much an advocate for experimenting, failing fast, and learning from those mistakes to create new winning strategies. So let's not waste any time and dive into episode 16 of #Wisdom Wednesdays.
No.
Talking about data and logic versus emotion and really trying to understand the difference between the two. You get the individuals who think, okay, I got all this data. If I just shove this data in your face, it's going to make sense for you and you're going to buy, or you're going to understand what I'm trying to get across to you. But that's not really what it seems to be happening for the most part. So I'd love to get your opinion on data and logic versus emotion.
Love this topic. Love that you brought it up, because I think this is so important for people to understand. Whether you're selling or you're marketing, and it's B2C or B2B, you are selling and marketing and trying to build a relationship with a person on the other end. And people do not make decisions based on logic. We tend to lead with our heart before our head. And so if you want to build trust with someone, you want to sell a product, you want to get your brand out there, you have to understand what are the emotional and social dynamics of what that person is going through, whether it's in their business or personally, that you can tap into to help them see value in your product, or like what's that thing that they're going to feel and get out of it. Because you can do all you want to try to appeal to people's logic, and obviously you need to do some of that. People aren't going to make decisions completely based on emotion, but we're humans and people are emotional beings, so you have to find a balance and understand both those sides and lead with emotion. I'm a big advocate for, especially when you're leading people, understanding what motivates them. As a manager or as a leader, you have to understand what's motivating people on an emotional level, not just what logically is going to help them get to the next steps in their career or whatever their goals are. How do they feel? What are they excited about? What do they care about? What are they afraid of? What are they scared of? What do they want?
How does somebody really craft the right messaging, maybe use marketing tools and tricks to really get out those emotions authentically?
That's a great question, and it is a challenging thing to do, because people don't tell you how they feel, and people have a hard time articulating how they feel. But what I've learned, specifically through researching and applying jobs to be done theory, is how to ask questions, and then you keep asking. They talk about like the five whys. So you're asking why 5 different times to get to the root of it. So for example, when we're talking to customers, we ask them, well, why did you start looking for a CRM? And they talk about, well, someone told me I need to use one. They say, well, why? Well, I was talking about how I was, trying to keep track of my clients or my leads. The more you dig into and ask why, what we would often get to is there was an emotional kind of trigger or reason. Well, I forgot to follow up with this person and I felt embarrassed because I looked like I wasn't professional. And that was enough for me to get me to start looking for a CRM. So then what we can do is use that story in your marketing. Tell that story of, have you ever forgotten to follow up with a lead or a client and felt really embarrassed? Like, never feel embarrassed again, try out this tool. So it's really just about asking a bunch of questions until you get to that root. And you kind of have to read between the lines sometimes, but once you kind of get to that trigger point, the trigger will always be for an emotional reason. And that's what you can leverage in storytelling in your marketing.
Understanding the difference between data dumping and using emotions will be crucial to your success, especially in any type of communication. But more so, figuring out the right questions to use to really extract that emotion authentically is going to be the difference between you making it or breaking it in any aspect of your career. Tapping into that emotion is going to be the difference between you helping your customer or client be the best version of themselves, and for you understanding how you can be the best version of yourself too. So I challenge you, use the 5 whys and tell me if it works. Marc Proctor, out.